Yes, fight fans, body and mind sports, my people. You are fully appreciated in this round, my guys, my people. So, let's talk about the young phenomenal talent that is, of course, Moses Itauma, just 20 years old. 20 years old, and he's got the heavyweight division straight under siege right now. That is my honest take right away. And boy, oh boy, stop Dylan White in just one round? Was it Dylan White supposed to be the so-called acid test? The world-class fighter, although fading, right, was supposed to be the man that may help us to answer some of those questions that we are desperately asking about Moses Itauma. Questions about his chin not being checked. Questions about how would he cope if dragged into deep waters? Will he sink or will he swim? Questions about the rounds that he's not been getting. Instead of Dylan White helping us to answer those questions, he compounded them even more, stronger into some people's minds now, because a lot of people, media channels, that thought that Itauma versus Usyk was a good idea. You know, this was pre the Dylan White fight, when Turki Al-Sheikh announced his interest in making Itauma versus Usyk. Right, there were some people that were for that right away. They were saying Itauma should go for it right away, my guys, my people. But now their opinion have changed, and they are saying Moses Itauma needs at least 1 or 2 more fights. It's like they can't believe they hold Usyk at such a high level, yeah. And unbelievable that there is somebody out there talented enough, scarily gifted with all the attributes that could be used to dethrone Alexander Usyk. And that, to a lot of Alexander Usyk fans and a lot of people who have grown to love who Alexander Usyk is as a champion and the legacy that he has set in the sport, right? Well, that is very scary to a lot of those people. That is very scary to them. They've come to love Usyk so much that they now hope that he would retire without a blemish to his legacy. A legacy who they see very vividly now that Itauma is a threat to. That now after the Dylan White fight, they are almost shooing Moses Itauma away as if he's the bad dog, as if he's the danger. Well, of course he is the danger, of course, but they're shooing him away. Go ahead and have 1 more or 2 more fights, because your chin check question has not been answered. Your deep water questions have not been answered. The questions about getting enough rounds not being answered. So you've not had enough rounds, right? You've not fought a worthy world-class fighter yet, my guys, my people. So go and do that first, then you get an Usyk fight, my guys, my people. But weren't these the same people, some of them, that thought Moses Itauma was ready? And this was before the Dylan White fight. Before the Dylan White fight, my guys, my people. These same people thought Itauma was ready to go up against Alexander Usyk when Turkey showed interest. So you see there, this win over Dylan White has helped in a lot of ways compound some of those questions in people's minds, my guys, my people. Some with the interest possibly of protecting Alexander Usyk, but also just because they can't believe what they're seeing. They need to see it. They need to see it be redone against another fighter, yeah, and that says a lot. That says a lot about Moses Itauma right now in his career. I was one of those people who initially thought, nah, Itauma is too early for an Usyk fight. Let's see how he does against Dillian Whyte first. And if he obliterates Dillian Whyte, then he's definitely ready for Alexander Usyk. And that is what I'm sticking to. He's definitely ready for Usyk now. Definitely, definitely. I'm more worried for Alexander Usyk than I will be for Moses Itauma. The excuses that people are making for him. There's still questions to be answered. He's got nothing to lose. He's got nothing to lose. The question is, would Usyk put his legacy on the line against such a young, fledgling lion, future king? That's the main question. As for Moses Itauma, he loses. Hey, he's 20 years old. He can always rebuild. If he fights Usyk immediately, has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I think he beats Usyk. I think he beats Usyk, my guys, my people. Although that stands to be seen, that's why I'm saying give him the opportunity. And I'm totally impressed with his performance over Dillian Whyte. Before the Dillian Whyte fight, I was saying, hold on, let's see how he does with Dillian Whyte first. But now that he's obliterated Dillian Whyte, let's go, let's go. Nobody else would have been able to do that to Dillian Whyte so fast. I don't think so. Even though Dillian Whyte has been a shock fighter though since he was packed up by Tyson Fury in 2022. He's not been the same fighter. However, Dillian Whyte that gave us the 2 wars with Derek Chisora, that gave us the dogfight with Joseph Parker. Those are 3 great wins for Dillian Whyte. But Whyte at no point of his career was ever fast enough, skilled enough, with enough boxing IQ or tenacity to ever challenge Moses Itauma, to ever challenge this young man. He was totally outgunned, aside from the fact that he's even older, much older by 17 years. So he had absolutely zero chance, my guys. Itauma is gliding from point A to point B so effortlessly. And I'm saying, hold on, these hands are faster than Usyk. Oh, hold on, his feet are way faster than Usyk. Yes, he was fast before, but I didn't notice it was this fast. Come to find out, Moses Itauma weighed in at 235.5 pounds, my guys, my people. That there is the lightest he has been in his career. So he came in the ring to put on a career's best performance against Dillian Whyte. Have no doubt about it. You know, so this was a great matchup, and they thought he would win pretty easily. However, they wanted him to win in superb fashion, which he did, and that is why they made him work hard and train hard, regardless of the opposition. And I like that attitude from the team and Itauma himself. You know, but make no mistakes, Team Itauma, the matchmakers, they were not looking to see rounds from Itauma from this fight. So make no mistakes, they wanted him, an Itauma that would obliterate Whyte and put some value to Itauma's name. And yeah, put some value to his name, boy. That was what it was all about, because Dillian is still a name, short or not short. He's still worth something, my guys, my people. As for Dillian Whyte though, did he ever think he would win this? The simple answer to that is no. Yes, he did work hard. Simply because I think he didn't believe that it would be over so quickly. against Itauma. He thought he would at least get some respectable rounds in there and come out of that fight a losing fighter, but with his head raised, and he can go on to fight those other names in his generation that are closer to his age and possibly do that. But Itauma just flipped the whole script on him, my guys, my people, and yeah, he just went outside cold. Moses Itauma is absolutely cold, my guys, my people. What is out there for Dillian Whyte going forward? The only obvious names, number one is the only things I see available for Dillian Whyte is Joe Joyce, just as short. Even Hrgovic, mind you, I think Hrgovic is a bit. He's slowing down a lot. Struggled quite a bit in the Joe Joyce fight, and against Adeleye, he struggled in patches as well, I would have to say. So he was slow in the Adeleye fight. He looked slow, you know. So yeah, man, maybe that's next for Dillian Whyte. Joe Joyce, maybe Hrgovic. Who knows? Johnny Fisher. Johnny Fisher. If Johnny Fisher can beat Dillian Whyte, then maybe this, because if Dillian Whyte is so short, Johnny Fisher should be able to beat him easily, my guys. Let's see what Johnny Fisher can do with a Dillian Whyte, my guys, my people. Now, back to Moses Itauma. I say, if not Usyk, then if Parker gets elevated to full WBO championship, then it should be Itauma and Parker for the title, because no more wasting time. Third option, I think, should be Gerald Big Baby Miller. That would open up the US market. Then fourth, Hrgovic, because you will get some rounds, I reckon, because of Hrgovic's stiff chin, nothing else. Because he beats him up as well. He beats up Hrgovic too. Miller, I think, could also give Itauma some rounds as well. So those are my four names. Parker, if not Parker, then Miller. If not Miller, then Hrgovic. So three names. If we don't get the Usyk fight next, my guys, my people. That is my take on this one for the young. Man, Itauma. Listen, if he gets a world championship, yeah, in his next fight, I'm talking this 2026, right? Then he becomes the youngest heavyweight champion ever, only second to Mike Tyson. Of course, Floyd Patterson will be third, and then fourth, Muhammad Ali, my guys. So he's still got records to break. Being compared to Mike Tyson, I see it, the speed, the explosiveness, the power, but he's a whole different breed. This to me looks a bit like Usyk, Muhammad Ali, and Mike Tyson all rolled up in one, my guys, my people. Now, when it came to the fight predictions, I actually was very generous for Dillian Whyte. I predicted he will get knocked out in under 6, but in 1 round, getting knocked out in 1 round, that I never saw. Even though I felt that Itauma could make this fight very easy. This fight was in the end going to be very easy for him, I reckon. But in 1 round, even that exceeded my expectations. I was not expecting just 1 round, my guys, my people. So what a great win for the young 20-year-old Itauma. Still unbeaten. His record now at 13 wins, no losses, no draws, and 11 via KO. As for Dillian Whyte, his record now at 31 wins, 4 losses, 0 draws, and 21 via KO for the 37-year-old wily veteran. Let's see what fight he can land next off of the back of this loss. You know, because he can't go out like this. He's got to go out better than this, boy. Seriously speaking, you know. With that said, let's move on to a fight that was on the undercard. We had Ray Ford versus Abraham Nova, a super bantamweight. I mean, actually, a super featherweight bout, mind you. Ford, 26 years old, winning via unanimous decision, uplifting his record to 17 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, and 8 coming via KO. As for the 31-year-old Nova, he is now, well, he takes the hit. His record now at 24 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, and 17 coming via KO there for Nova. And this was actually Ford's 3rd win in the super featherweight division since losing his featherweight strap in June of 2024 to Nick Ball. That was just after Ford had won the title in March of the same year. It took it out of Otabek Kolmatov, right? He beat Otabek Kolmatov for that title. But then after losing to Nick Ball in June, in the same year of 2024, man, Ford didn't have any time to lick his wounds, my guys. He went straight into the next division. That is the super featherweight division. In the same year of 2024, in November, he went up against Orlando Gonzalez, my guys, my people, before finally in 2025, April 2025, this year, he went up against the hard-hitting Thomas Matisse. So, man, he's been a very active fighter, Ray Ford, very, very busy. He's focused on that championship goal, my guys, my people, in a new division. As for Nova, he has been very lucky to land this fight. We will talk about that soon after we talk about this fight here, which I thought was going to be a wipeout. I thought it was going to be a wipeout, a complete clean sheet. It didn't go exactly as I predicted, but yes, Ford did bag majority of the rounds. I managed to give Nova maximum 3 rounds. Nova did quite well, gave quite a good account of himself in some spots. Ford, the much talented fighter. Nova, I think what let him down is that his output just wasn't enough. He spent a lot of the time, even though he looked like the bigger fighter, right? He was the taller fighter, ranger fighter. He was just spending more time spoiling Ford's work, and in doing so, getting too close and spoiling his own work as well, and that counted against him. You know, ultimately, Ford does have one weakness though, and that is if you take the fight to him and start to do a lot of spoiling, make it a little bit rough in there, like Nova did, not to any huge effect, but it looked like Ford was getting tired. So that is where I think his weakness is, being put under pressure. Ball did it and beat him, although controversially. But here you see Nova as well, though nowhere close to beating Ford. He troubled Ford, definitely troubled him, but a good win nonetheless for Ford. Unanimous decision win from the judges was the correct one. The win was wide, although Nova did give a good account of himself, my guys, my people. With that said, let's now talk about Nick Ball himself versus Sam Goodman. Sam Goodman, his first fight at featherweight, gave a great account of himself. Now, I almost predicted this to the T. I said Nick Bull is a total wrecking ball. A total wrecking ball, my guys, my people. I've forgotten the record now. I don't think I have his record right here. But look, yeah, he's an absolute wrecking ball, Nick Bull. He it wasn't entirely a wrecking ball in this one, simply because Sam Goodman just wouldn't let him. Now, everybody was talking about Sam Goodman is just a come forward fighter, but I knew he had more than that. He had good judgment of range, good boxing IQ, and he was the taller, rangier fighter, despite his coming from a coming one division up. His punch power seemed to be more than Ball as well. Even though Ball was landing the bigger, heavier, more effective punches, landing more as well. But Goodman, he always finds a way to always keep his shape, not panicking, always keep his form, and his boxing IQ. He's a better boxer than Ball. He is a better boxer than Ball. Only difference is Sam Goodman just hesitating too much, a bit too tentative in there at times. So just a bit too wary. He was a bit too wary, a bit overcautious. That's what lost him the fight. Otherwise, it was this close. It was this close. Only had now I had Ball winning by 2 rounds, but there were other people that thought it would be controversial, and I predicted this fight here will be controversial and Ball would take it by a majority or split decision, you know. But unanimous decision, it was a good call. If anyone saw it as a draw, not too bad either, my guys, my people. What was bad though, I believe they had a 118, 110 scorecard. Now that does not belong in boxing, that scorecard there. Absolute nonsense. What's next for Goodman? I don't know. But as for Nick Bull, we know the fight everybody is hoping he would land is against Naya Inoue. Looking from this fight, Naya Inoue totally obliterates Nick Bull. I'm sorry to say. I am sorry to say. Totally obliterates Nick Bull. Yeah. What does maybe Nick Bull, he can get a championship fight next? Very much like Ford at 130 pound. Ford. Maybe he can get a championship fight next. Is be looking for Eduardo Nunes. Maybe a championship fight with Emmanuel Navarrete. Who else? Who's another champion in the division? Oshaki Foster. Now I think he beats Oshaki Foster Ford at 130. You know, maybe the Kakashi fight. You can finally get that fight. They were supposed to have it on this fight card. Kakashi pulled out. And Nova jumped in. You know. So that there for Ford would make great fights. But as for Ball, I don't know, man. I don't know. Championship fight in a way destroys him. I'm sorry to say. In a way totally obliterates Ball. Now finally, last but not least, David Adeleye, my guys, my people. David Adeleye versus Philip Hrgovic. This was a total mismatch. But I thought Philip Hrgovic would knock him out by the 7th round. That was not the case. Philip Hrgovic himself looking a bit like he is slowing down, because Adeleye didn't do nothing for shy in there. The early rounds, yes, he popped thingy in the eye, boy. Hrgovic popped him good in the eye. Had him bleeding profusely by the 2nd round, and I thought, damn, this is the perfect opportunity for the underdog in Adeleye to jump on this man. And instead, the round goes, we get to the corner, and Adam Booth, Adeleye's trainer, is talking about now it's time to stay in the fight. What do you mean? You are in the fight. You got him bleeding profusely. Now go ahead and take his head off. You know, ultimately, I don't think Adeleye has got the skills to be a good finisher like that. Not at world level anyway. He's definitely not world level material, because he fizzled out so quickly. Didn't know what range to fight in. Instead, he was on a back foot, getting backed up to the ropes, getting beat into the punch, being hesitant. So not fighting in the right range either. The best place for Adeleye to fight is to fight on the inside, either right underneath the much taller and bigger, stronger Hrgovic, you know, where Adeleye's jab can count more, where he can beat Hrgovic to the jab. So fight more on the inside. He needs to learn some inside fighting, because his hook would be so effective on the inside, and he didn't do no body work. Do you know how effective that Adeleye's ferocious left hook to the body would be? God damn. Well, anyway, back to the cut that happened in the second round. Abel Sanchez did a great job as cutman to patch that thing up beautifully, because he didn't bleed for the rest of the fight. Sanchez, who also trains Hrgovic, great job, I would have to say. You know, but Hrgovic was there for the taking, boy. He was there for the taking, and Adeleye, just not enough activity. Even his fight IQ, punch IQ, just not there. Once he had, but he does have a lot of heart though, Adeleye, I would have to say. In the 8th round, when he got dropped, he banged his gloves and gritted his teeth like Edgar Berlanga. I didn't like that. That doesn't mean anything, but at least it shows that he's in it to try to win this fight, regardless. So that was good to see, him showing heart. So he definitely got grit. His stamina is questionable. That's possibly why he doesn't engage as much, because he gets tired. But he ate a lot of punches, but so did Hrgovic. Hrgovic ate a lot of punches as well, from a powerful hitter in Adeleye. Not a very competitive fight. I didn't give Adeleye not even one round. The 8th round, Adeleye gets dropped, as I was talking about, where he banged his glove together. I like the way he reacted in that round and turned it around, almost taking out Hrgovic. You know, but the combinations, just punching and aiming at the head all the time. Now, a lot of those punches were arm punches, blocked. Nothing in it, really. And Adeleye nearly got taken out in the 12th round as well, but he managed to hold on, and his legs held up, and he made it through the 12th and final round. But what should I say, the 10th and final round. But not an easy fight. It's definitely not world level. I predicted he would get knocked out in 6th round. He also exceeded my expectations, but Hrgovic was tiring, blowing in that fight there. I don't know what they're doing at high altitude at Big Bear, but yeah, he was blowing, and there were signs of that, because he was not as ferocious with his punches as he was in the Daniel Dubois fight. Hrgovic wasn't. He was just more or less tapping away and landing just average hardness in punches here and there, my guys, my people on Adeleye. Should have taken out Adeleye. The Hrgovic that fought Daniel Dubois takes out Adeleye. What we got was the Hrgovic that fought Joe Joyce. Hrgovic that is slowly declining also. Also, my guys, my people. And with that said, that's all I have for you guys on this one, my guys, my people. Before you leave, do like, do share, subscribe, of course. Drop your comments below, and as always, stay super blessed, my guys, my people. Oh yeah, Adeleye. What next? Johnny Fisher. Again, TKV, try and revisit that, or get the winner of TKV and Clark. Maybe even the loser, my guys. Maybe even the loser. Stay blessed, my guys, my people.